Well, today, children of the Jupiter father accused of locking his adopted teenage son in a box gave witness testimony.
For the first time, we hear the boy himself describe what he went through, being locked up in the garage instead of being allowed in the house. Terry Parker was there to hear testimony and joins us live from the courthouse in downtown West Palm Beach. Terry?
Right, that teenage boy who was locked in a box-like garage for 4 years described what he said it was like. He said it was sad to abuse a child who was simply acting like a child. But in a surprise twist, he also says he doesn't blame his parents and wishes everyone would forget it and move on.
Emotional moments in court for Tim and Tracy Ferreter, face to face with their 16-year-old adopted son as he testifies in Tim Ferreter's child abuse trial. The boy describing how Ferreter locked him in an 8x8 garage room every night and much of the day from the time he was about 10 until 14.
Did you have any control over when the lights were on or when the lights were off? Who controlled that?
My parents, Tim or Tracy.
The boy, whom we're not identifying, described hours spent locked in a windowless room with a bucket for a bathroom, rarely being allowed in the house with his siblings to watch TV or have snacks, often left locked in the dark with just a few toys and textbooks. Prosecutor Brianna Coakley asked him how it made him feel.
To me, being locked in a room, it's dehumanizing. It's almost as bad as genocide. It's saddening to abuse a child that was just acting like a child.
But during cross-examination, a surprise reversal. The boy saying he doesn't blame his parents.
I don't have a bad image of Tim and Tracy. They just made a mistake. They were just acting out of frantic surprise of my actions. They weren't. I believe that they weren't trying to do any harm. Yeah. I believe that people should recognize that that was a mistake and forgive them and move on.
Defense attorney Priya Murad then recited a list of bad behavior she says led the parents to locking up their son: stealing, lying, hitting, hacking into the school computers, embarrassing his younger sister in class, accidentally pushing his baby brother off a bike, even pretending to be a member of the school board to one unwitting teacher he told he was evaluating.
I think in your words, you intentionally broke the rules you knew about at least 5 times a week?
Usually more, but yes.
But then another twist. Prosecutors started showing some Ring video that showed inside that box room. Jurors got to see Tim Ferreter in the tiny room, throwing around the mattress, yelling at the boy, cursing at him, and then, along with Tracy, threatening him that if he didn't get his act together, they were going to homeschool him, and he'd end up in the box room a lot more than he was even currently. I'm told those videos will go on for 3 hours, so it's likely we'll see more of them tomorrow as testimony in this trial continues. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.